Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time. And now, whenever and wherever you happen to be, as we hurtle through space in this matrix, this planet, this 144 dimensions, as we learned the other day from the Blueprinters channeling session, I hope that whenever and wherever you happen to be, that you are aware of being sucked back into duality reality. Sounds like a doo-wop group. Duality reality, live at the Met. Oh, I've been aware of a lot of conspiracy theories. There's also conspiracies that have been proven, but there's this strange, persistent one, and I feel like even if you think you're in the know on this, I don't think anyone can truly know the reality of it, if it is 100% real or not. But have you guys heard the one where the United Nations supposedly has an agenda for the year 2030, and it's like this massive list, and people are promoting the entire list as bad, and maybe 10 things on the list are bad, and about 7 or 8 things are incredibly great, including healthcare for everybody on the earth. Why would that be a bad agenda? Basic income, universal basic income. Everyone in the world gets $2,000 a month. Level the playing field. It's pretty cool. It's like some of these ideas are good. But people are starting to lump these in together, saying it's the dark versus us. And this is what they want to do. And I'm like, I'm not wrong to want universal basic income, not only for myself and my children, one of which is homeless right now, living in a shelter, but also for like the little old ladies I've met, here in Ecuador. They don't hire Americans because we're quote unquote rich. Everyone assumes that about us. Dude, we live here because we're not rich. No one thinks of it that way. They don't think of the fact that there might be an alternative reality to their presuppositions and perceptions of us. But, someone put this out today, and I've kind of locked horns with this guy before, and I don't mean goat horns, I mean like devil horns. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, not really. I haven't like fought with him or whatever, but I just said, this is, it's just not right. This isn't right. Like, to be against all of these things. And we don't know if it's really real or not, just because there's a YouTube video saying, we know the facts and the truth and the whatever. I mean, there's a lot of videos going around saying stuff and proving their point, even with pictures that are real pictures, but it doesn't mean that it's their point that it's proving. It means that they're creating a theory, a conspiracy theory, like, for example, that all the movie stars in the world are part of the secret Illuminati. That one's been going around since I can remember. Since before I was an adult even. So, I mean, that's decades old. That's a conspiracy theory that's got whiskers on it. It's so old. But in the proof is the way that celebrities hold their hands. When they put their hands in kind of a diamond pattern, when their thumbs touch and their index fingers touch. And when I watched this video, gosh, last year, probably the beginning of last year, as I'm watching the video, what was hilarious was so I turned on the video, I got in a comfortable position because I want to hear this, hey, see if the theory is correct. And I looked down and my hands are in that exact same position because it is a very natural hand position for people to have. I mean, did I suddenly think I'm in the Illuminati and I'm against humanity? No. It's just a natural way for people to hold their hands. Kind of gives your thumb a stretch, you kind of make a diamond pattern with your thumb and your index fingers as you touch them together. And it's just, I've seen all kinds of people make this hand gesture when they're just sitting and contemplating and listening. I believe it is a hand mudra. Even when you put your hand in the position of devil horns, like you're making the sign of the devil, that's also the sign of the Texas Longhorns. And it's also a mudra for, I can't remember right now. I think it's like spiritual empowerment or something. So there's like all these wild theories that they're against us. We need to know the truth because they're gonna get us. And then another person had a really funny meme. It said, every time you smile, a reptilian goes hungry. And then says, don't let them feed on your fear. And then this guy says the watchers and the fallen angels and the archons, whatever the hell that is. I've heard that a few times, but I don't really know what it means. I think it's based on one of those people that have a crackpot theory, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Someone told me it was in the Bible. I don't know if that's true or not. And then they said the jinn. And I was just like, that's not true. They're assuming that if it's something that's an invisible force, and you can't see it, and it could be in your room, and it's something you can't see, automatically it's bad and it's against humanity, and there's a spiritual war on, and they're going to feed off your fears. And so I said to this guy, I'm a fallen angel. I fell to earth. I got caught in the karmic wheel of death, rebirth, etc., reincarnation. This is something that it's not unique. There's a lot of angels in the same position as me. I've met about 4 other angels since I discovered. In fact, it was an angel that told me what happened. I was like, oh man, snap, I forgot totally about that. But it's just people assume like the weirdest shit that's completely not provable one way or the other. Even my telling you guys that I'm a fallen angel, I don't remember all of the details. I have amnesia, just like all of us have amnesia about heaven. Like we don't remember a whole lot. Being in this world, it's like weird world. But being in this planet, we tend to forget like the reality, like the actual reality. We get so enmeshed into this world, and we embrace it that we think this is complete and total reality. So when we crack open the head, it shatters our psyches sometimes. Crack open the head is a term for doing psychedelics, or having a spiritual awakening experience that illuminates you. Crack open your head and let in the light, You just give a good old whack to that coconut. Okay, no, don't actually hit yourself. It's a metaphor, not a reality thing. Don't do that. Don't hit yourself in the head. But all these weird things, like there's so many things, like the Pleiadians are good for us, and then turning around and saying that the Pleiadians are good for us, and that's why Donald Trump is a Pleiadian, because he's such a good guy. I'm sorry, good guys don't get accused of rape by 27 women, or leave, people to starve in cages at the border, or turning in, what's the latest thing, something about bounties, and basically allowing the Russians to kill so many of our troops for God knows what. I don't even know. Haven't even really paid attention to that one. I'm just like, same shit, different day, SSDD. It's not productive, to think about this stuff. And I want you guys to realize that, if you get sucked up into this, if you get caught up into the idea that it's us versus them, and we have to get all the information out to everybody in the world before something happens bad to us. This kind of thinking is a duality-based thinking. This is a very 3D style of thinking. That's so 3D to think it's us versus them, and us being the good guys and them being the horrible, evil reptilians that couldn't be evil if they're human. Another weird misnomer that goes around. Oh, so-and-so mistreated you, he must be a reptilian. He can't help it. It's just really strange to me that people can think that they're, they're so spiritual and they're so enlightened, and then they keep putting out the same kind of posts, like, or the same ideas on, any social media, really, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, whatever. You start promoting ideas that there's a war going on in the heavens, there's this war going on in the invisible world, it's all around you, and they're vying for your soul. It's all bullshit, is what it is. Is it possible to have a war in the fifth dimension? Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you could think of it, it's probably a possibility. Is there a war going on over our heads right now, and we're too dumb to even see it? No, I don't think so. I really don't believe it. I mean, there was an explosion on the moon recently, moments after there was a fleet of spaceships that went flying past the moon, went across the silhouette of the moon. Something's going on up there, but I don't think it's a full-blown war. And maybe if there is, we will hear about it soon, which will be odd. But I feel like even if this stuff is all real, we'll say, just for, shits and grins, that every single thing is 100% real. What they say. This theory, they started the riots to distract us. Did they? Or maybe it's that it's about damn time that Black lives matter, and they matter forever. From this day forward, I don't think that little Black children should be reminded that they're thought of as a lesser race. Like that idea has always just hurt my heart so much that, go on the way to school, you see a Confederate, anything, or that you're treated less than by white teachers, or that the police are always harassing you, like these kinds of ideas. I don't think that it's the upper echelon, 1%ers of society just messing with our heads. No, Black lives do matter. And we do need to fight this fight. Doesn't matter if we're Black or not. We need to fight this fight. This is a human issue. Human rights are being violated. I don't give a flying fig if some jerk off in a hoity-toity castle somewhere ordered it that there would be riots. It doesn't matter if he ordered it or not. Sorry to say, Black people can think about this all on their own. Black people can be leaders too. Black people can make a voice for themselves. It's not some fat old white dickbag in a castle saying that now it's time for all of us to riot or whatever. So again, it's like yet one more way that Black people are put in a position where they might question themselves or question the reality of, well, maybe Black people didn't contribute to society. Maybe they can't contribute to society. Like, those are like really bad ideas. They're false ideas. And here we go again with, it's hubris and it's racism to say that it's George Soros who said that all these things must happen to distract the masses. Like, I don't give a I didn't sign Black Lives Matter petition because of some white dude somewhere that literally does not affect me. I did not march with the Black Student Union after the Rodney King beating trial because of some dude back east somewhere. Or in, God knows where the hell he lives. Maybe he lives in freaking Bavaria on the top of a mountain. Maybe he's a vampire. I don't freaking know. I don't care. I marched with Black people, and I've signed petitions more recently and been outspoken on my show because I give a fuck. Because I care. That's all. It's not because someone's pulling my strings like I'm a puppet, hoping someday to be a real boy. It's like all these conspiracy theories are so stupid. And, it's like, it's the United Nations that talked about universal basic income. No. It's cool if they are talking about it now. But sorry, that was an idea in conversations with God back in the early 90s because it was God's idea. And even before that, I think in the 1950s, somebody came up with this idea, I don't think it was called universal basic income, it was called something else, but this is not an idea that some fat cat, which that whole phrase is insulting to cats everywhere, so forgive me, meow meow. But I don't know, it's just so hard to even unravel some of this crap, Jinns, most jinns, they're beings that are made of fire and they're invisible, whereas we're made from earth. They have a basic element from which they're created, which is fire. But there's a story about the jinn being jealous of humans, but to be honest with you, not all jinn are jealous of humans. Not all jinn hate humans. In fact, I have worked with a great number of jinns. They're elementals. And most jinns are actually Muslim. most jinns pray. Most jinns will encourage you to go towards your spiritual side and pray if you magically work with jinn. I don't believe in enslaving beings of any kind, so, anytime I've gotten a piece of magical jewelry with a jinn attached or whatever attached, always the very first question I ask the being inside the ring or the necklace or whatever is I'll say, okay, so you are attached to this piece of jewelry, and usually I get a yes. Muscle testing says yes. And then my second question is, okay, do you want me to release you? You could hang out and stay with me if you wish, or you'd be free to go if you wish, because I don't believe in enslaving anyone. Usually they want to stay. They want to serve humanity. So it doesn't sound like they're going to be sitting around waiting to feed on that fear. Have a nice big bowl of Cheerios. It's all so dumb, So I said to this person today, I'm like, so I'm a fallen angel. I'm actually a watcher. I was here sent to watch, Lucifer and his pals. Make sure they're not playing around too harshly with humanity. That they go easy on humanity and they're not trying to punish them too much. But and I said, it's most jinn are very very positive beings. They work with humans and they pray to God, and you don't understand. Just because a being is invisible doesn't mean that they're evil. That's like saying all humans are evil because, serial killers exist. There might be one evil jinn, doesn't mean that all jinn are evil. That's like saying that all humans are evil because there's a few evil humans. And what was weird is this guy said his answer was really weird to me, and I'm thinking it must be a Mercury retrograde. But he said, I'm not as despondent as you. And I'm like, I maybe don't understand the English language. Only grew up speaking it for 51 years. But in my knowledge, the word despondent kind of means you've given up out of depression. I mean, that's my definition. But my answer to his thing saying that all invisible beings are feeding on your fear, and that all fallen angels are invisible beings, by the way, I'm not invisible. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I have turned invisible, but mostly that was out of my control, so I don't know. I certainly do not feed on people's fear. Not by a long shot. I haven't told them I feed on people's joy. In fact, I feed on my own on my own joy and the love of God. And they said that I was despondent. I'm like, what the heck? Somebody got a thesaurus for Christmas. But they're not really paying attention to the words, or at least the definitions. It was such a weird day. It was a weird day. And I was just like, what's your definition of despondent? Because that doesn't make sense to me. And, I don't know. It's just, it was very strange. I'm like, no, there's a secret. It's the spiritual principle, guys, and this is what it is. You must, at all costs, learn to love your enemy as yourself. You have to learn how to love everybody and everything, and every creature and every being and every manner of creature that God created. This isn't a time to say it's us versus them and screw them, because they are us. And when you say screw them, you're really meaning screw myself, screw me, screw you. Screw all of us. None of us are free until all of us are free. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. I didn't make up the rules. It's not my philosophy I'm touting. It's reality. People who are awake, they get it. They know. But you can't just start saying that you're spiritual and separating yourself out. And then, oh, those people over there, they're our enemy. Those are the bad guys. Those are the ones. We can't let them win. Sure, we don't need to vote people in. They're going to, have an agenda against us. Sure. I believe in that. Sign the petitions and vote for the right people. Vet people to the best of your ability before you vote for them. But this whole duality stuff is just, it's really been kind of amusing to me lately. I've been literally amused. And this other person was saying, he said it was the United Nations. And then I said, well, the United Nations, they don't do this, or, but if they are pushing this, I'm glad. And then he goes, well, it's not the United Nations. I'm like, well, your post says it's the United Nations doing all these things. And he's like, oh, it's just a totalitarian state. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means, but, and he's like, these are all evil plans. I'm like, universal income isn't, and he said it's totalitarianism. I'm like, well, where you see totalitarianism, I see compassion for all humankind. It's just compassion to give every little old lady, little old man, all the little old people in society, to give them $2,000 a month. I mean, that's going to feel like winning the lottery for them. They won't have to eat cans of Fancy Feast cat food for dinner because it's all they can afford. If they have $2,000 a month coming in, they're going to have a roof over their head and shelter, and they'll get to eat human food again. Hey. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff like this, and it's I try to raise people's consciousness by putting a high vibrational, paragraph, something they can read that will maybe make them go, oh yeah, see it a different way. But I've been met with a little bit of aggression from some people. Not, just a little bit of rudeness, not, super aggressive or anything, but, accusing me of things like being despondent or being for a totalitarian state or whatever. It's kind of stupid, though. It's like, once you see things from a higher, loftier perspective, and once you've learned how to love everybody without exception, when you learn that you should probably love all of the creatures that God created, including the demons and the devils, send them love. They freaking hate that. You'll keep them away by giving them love. How ironic. When they stop seeing themselves as demons and realize that they are fallen angels, and then they say, I'm sorry that happened, they can come back into the fold as angels again. But going, they're evil, they're demons, they're over there, and we're over here, and never the twain shall meet. That keeps you in separation. And what is separation but the third dimensional world? That's the world of duality. So you want to try to keep yourself out of these discussions. Speak up if you think your voice is going to be heard, and if it's going to actually help people, then speak up. But don't continue to argue. When I told that guy, he's like, it's totalitarianism and that's evil. Like, well, where you say it's evil, I say it's compassion. A lot of these things are compassionate. A lot of these things I don't even think are real except in someone's mind. I don't always believe this stuff when there's no proof, you know. And even video proof can be manipulated. So if that can happen, then pretty much every, I don't know, proof can be eliminated, like, or created, you know, to make it look like it's proof, is what I'm trying to say. It's like the truth can be eliminated when it's something from the right angle. Things can look different based on the way you're looking at it. Where you see a world out to get you filled with enemies, I see an opportunity to love people and send them high vibrations until they wake up. Where you see an us versus them relationship, and we're on our side because we're the good boys and the good girls, the good men and the good women, the good people. We are the good ones, and they're the bad ones over there. I see an opportunity to learn more about unity consciousness. So, I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking about the duality thing. And duality is so 3D. We're in the 5th dimension. We are moving towards unity consciousness. That's why we're able to telepath a lot more lately. I know for sure I am, but if you haven't started telepathing yet, you know, spend less time on those conspiracy theories and more time on learning telepathy. You know, if you're a conspiracy person. If you're not, just ignore that statement. But, you know, I mean, some of the conspiracies are actual conspiracies, and some of the conspiracy theories are still just theories. They haven't been proven one way or another yet. And people can get confused. People can say, well, I work for the government, and this is a list I found. And maybe what they found was a joke, a private joke between two people, and they left it in the photocopy machine. You know, maybe it wasn't real. You know, now we have a whistleblower because they saw a fake memo on a copy machine. Like, even that might not be proof enough to prove that that's real or not. You know, someone the other day was like, well, Dr. Fauci hasn't been seen in weeks. He's in hiding because he knows the truth. He's in trouble. It's like, dude, I saw him on TV just a few days ago. What the hell are you smoking? Let me stay away from that strain. You know, people are just like tripping on all the wrong things. And all those things I talked about, distractions earlier. I think either last week or earlier in this week. And distractions are distracting, obviously. But if you focus on loving everybody and everything, including demons and devils and all that, if you send love to everything, without exception, to all of God's creation, without exception, if you could send that kind of energy out, and you can truly love every human being on earth, regardless of things they've done, things they've said, if you get to a point where you can love everybody unconditionally, you're going to end up opening up all 12 chakras. But if you keep doing the us versus them mentality, you're going to have blocks in your chakras that keep you separated from other people. It keeps you isolated. Energetically and spiritually isolated. So if you work on loving even the crackpot crazy people, even the evil people, even the worst of humanity, work on actively loving them. It's hard. It's very hard to get through it. A lot of times people rather pray for the bricks on the outside of a building than an evil person inside the building. They don't want to. Yeah, well, I'll send prayers to that organization over there. But instead, maybe it's the dude sitting inside that building that needs the love and the compassion, and you send that to someone, they're going to become illuminated and they will wake up eventually. We have to love everybody. I mean, if you want all 12 chakras to work, you definitely have to love everybody. Anyway, that's my, hopefully made sense. I'm feeling this cosmic radiation starting to come in. We're going to have this today and tomorrow. I'm going to go over to these, my usual introduction things. I've got to find my glasses here. Put my glasses on. All right. We're going to spaceweather.com first. Ooh, really pretty pictures of noctilucent clouds. So, we've been 4 days without a sunspot. Current solar wind speed is 309.1 kilometers per second. I wonder if you guys can hear Blackie barking in the background. She just barks her head off. I think she's barking at fairies. She'll go to a tree and just won't stop barking at night. She'll just pick a tree and just start barking. And usually there's nothing in the tree. It's very odd. Anyway, alright, so the neutron counts today are very high. We're at 10.5% of the space age average. And the solar wind flowing from the northern coronal hole will be reaching us July 5th and July 6th. Basically, let's see. It's like I'm so strange. I'm falling asleep. Today I've been very, very hungry. I ate like 4 meals today. Normally I only eat one and then maybe 1 or 2 snacks, but they're small. Like a piece of fruit or a handful of walnuts or something. And today, I ate more than I've had in a very long time. It's so strange. I've noticed a lot of different changes like that, a lot of ascension symptoms. Now I wonder if that's not one. Anyway, there were 10 fireballs seen today over the United States. That is, let's see, I'm trying to see what it says. Yeah, okay. So that's a part of the All Sky Fireball Network from NASA. So 10 fireballs, that's not bad. Usually we have a lot more, right? Alright, let me see when we get through this. The Schumann Resonance for Italy is not very high today. 47 hertz frequency is the big number, so yeah, there it is. 47 is not big at all. Wanted to let you know that when we were able, or were not able to listen to the Schumann Resonance's power from heartmath.org, when we were trying and every day it was like, oh my gosh, they're still stuck. Like a broken record, they were stuck. The needle was stuck. And we weren't able to go past the 18th of June for up until like 2 days ago. So like over 2 weeks. And during that time, Lithuania was at 333 hertz frequency. 333. I thought that was impressive. Not only the number itself, but also it going so high. I thought that was pretty incredible. let's see. It was remarkable anyway. I gotta take a nap. It's like crazy. All right. So when I go to heartmath.org and read to you guys the Schumann Resonance is powered, this is what we've got. But this is, by the way, from Tuesday. It's 48 hours behind the actual time. So in California, this is at 2300 hours, by the way, on June 30th, so a couple days ago. In California, they were 129 hertz frequency. In Hofuf, Saudi Arabia, they were at 0 hertz frequency, which is strange. Still hasn't gone up off the mat. It's still at 0. Saudi Arabia, that's crazy. So I guess it's like no hertz frequency at all. It's like just dead for now. It'll come up though, I'm sure of it. But Lithuania's been at 183 hertz frequency, and Albert. I'm like, wait a minute, Albert, Canada? Hello, Alberta. Like, who the hell is Albert, Canada? Sounds like a Canadian porn star. My name is Albert, Canada. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. I'm like super tired. Anyway, I get punchy. Hopefully super funny when I'm tired. My kids always kept me up late when they were younger so that I get punch drunk and get like really weird. They always thought that was hilarious. Anyway, not literally punch drunk, but just tired, and then they say funny things and they love that. Anyway, the hertz frequency of Alberta, Canada was 364. That's pretty high. Really high, in fact. It was 86 in Northland, New Zealand, 86 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale. And last but not least, we have Hulului in South Africa, and they were at 132 hertz frequency. So let's see where we're at. One more page, and then we can take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to go over acupressure for your feet. So when you rub your own feet, it will help you increase your circulation in your feet. But also it can help with a lot of other things that may or may not be going on in your body. But, you know, if your feet hurt in certain places, they might point to the fact that that organ might be having a problem, but it's undetectable by Western medicine until it gets really, really bad. But your feet don't lie. If you have something, you know, like a sharp shooting pain in your foot when you touch it, it corresponds to different organs, and it's gonna help you quite a bit. So hopefully we'll be able to get through that, and it'll be informative and helpful for you. Anyway, but first I'm going to go to a Course in Miracles found at acim.org, which is the website for the Foundation of Inner Peace. And here's the lesson 325. All things I think I see reflect ideas. All things I think I see reflect ideas. This is salvation's keynote. What I see reflects a process in my mind, which starts with my idea of what I want. From there, my mind makes up an image of the thing that the mind desires, judges valuable, and therefore seeks to find. These images are then projected outward, looked upon, esteemed as real, and guarded as one's own. From insane wishes come an insane world. From judgment comes a world condemned. And from forgiving thoughts, a gentle world comes forth. With mercy for the Holy Son of God, to offer him a kindly home where he can rest a while before he journeys on, and help his brothers walk ahead with him and find the way to heaven and to God. Our Father, your ideas reflect the truth, and mine apart from yours make up but dreams. Let me behold what only yours reflect, for yours and yours alone establish truth. All things I think I see reflect ideas. And that was reading of lesson 325. That means we have 40 lessons left. And that is acim.org. Okay. Hopefully I made sense during this whole introduction. I'm a little bit, or a lot bit in this case, out of it. I'm going to take a quick nap during the break for like 30 minutes. I'm going to see if I can't refresh and rejuvenate, because right now I'm being bombarded by cosmic radiation yet one more time. So tomorrow I would expect this as well. And that's what they said, the 5th and the 6th. So is it the 5th and the 6th? That's coming up actually. So that's actually Sunday and Monday we'll be getting it. But today, it was like the 1st and the 2nd was the last report of solar winds coming our way. So that's where we're at now. Today we're getting the end of that solar wind. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like, I'm ready to go get some DNA upgrades for a minute. Anyway, stay away from duality ideas. Focus on unity, love, and compassion for all. That's how we're going to be fully anchored in the 5th dimension. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, acupressure for the feet, right after this message. It's that time of year, guys. Finally. OMG. I am up for not only one, but 2 People's Choice Podcast Awards this year. I had no idea. I just found out. Okay, the voting starts today, July 1st, and goes through the 31st of July. And I need you guys to nominate my podcast. This is how you do it. Go to podcastawards.com and you have to sign up in order to nominate me, in order to vote. And you have to go to the very first category at the top, and it's the Adam Curry's People's Choice Podcast Award. And I'm way down on the list because, M, Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. And you just click that. And then when you're done with that section, you go to the religion and spirituality category. And again, cast your vote for Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. And then you have to go way at the bottom part of the page, and say, save my nominations. And that's it. It's that simple. It takes less than 2 minutes, probably 1 minute if you have high-speed internet, of course. It's not that much. You can even do this on your phone. It's super, super simple. I voted for myself on my tablet. OMG. So thank you for your continued support and listenership and voting for this show, because by doing so, you're keeping the show alive and we're getting the word out so that other people can benefit from my expertise. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys, that was a much longer nap than I expected. Oh my God, these cosmic energies, though, lately, they've been knocking me completely flat out. This time it was for 8 hours. I just slept completely dead to the world. I set my alarm for 20 minutes, and I don't even know what happened. I remember snoozing once, and then I woke up at, 9:30 in the morning. Oh my God. And that's another thing. I usually wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I go back to bed, and then I wake up at 7. And I slept through both of those times. I don't know what the hell is happening, but we were blasted with something major last night. Major. Really big energy came in. So, well, there you have it. If you had one of those massive cosmic naps and you slept like all night, I can't imagine being, at this time in an office and having to deal with this. Like, if it hits in the daytime, I mean, do people just like zonk out at the office? Snoring on their desks, drooling on their phones? I can't even imagine that situation right now. It's probably a blessing that so many people are not at work right now, at least in this one way, having to absorb all these cosmic energies, and it's changing our very DNA, and we're just strange. It's just a strange thing that we're going through. Oh, excuse me. I took my inhalers, and I woke up congested this morning. Congestion in the lungs. Blech. All right. I'll get through it, though. All right. I found a really funny website called footfiles.com. At least it's a funny name. The website itself is serious. Foot Files. So, basically, we're going to talk about acupressure to heal and alleviate pain in your body, and as well as other things. I'm going to go through this article on footfiles.com, and then I'm going to literally look at a chart, and I'm going to tell you what every part of your foot is for, if I could get through all of it. if I can't get through all of it in this time, maybe I'll make a second one next week and we can finish up the foot. But anyway, this is what it says. The ancient form of traditional Chinese medicine uses pressure applied to meridians for acupoints to relieve pain, treat body disorders, and clear any blockages of energy so as to restore your body's yin and yang, or also known as qi, or qi spelled with the qi. I'm not going to say ki because that's not how you say it, but some people do say ki, like ki. But it's similar to acupuncture, which uses needles instead of pressure to stimulate every meridian on the body. It is also similar to reflexology and modern reflexology, except those two methods focus on different pressure points during the treatment. So there are many acupressure points on the body, and the feet in particular possess, quite a few that can help with a number of ailments. Now that's what they're saying, but what I'm going to tell you guys, you literally can affect everything in your body using the points on your feet. Every single thing. You know, you're having problems with your liver, your kidney, your brain, you have cervical neck pain, you know, in your upper part of your neck, or even your, you know, any part of your neck, actually. You can massage parts of your feet and suddenly your neck will release and relax. So it's, your feet are important, way more than we give them credit for. Most of us don't really look at our feet except once a month to cut the toenails. You know what I mean? So love your feet. You know, it's, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's see. Where was I in the article? Yeah, it says that this can help with digestive problems, stress, insomnia, headaches. I just said that. Problems in the intestine. Well, you have more than one. That's why it's intestines. But anyway, yuck. Anyway, I don't want to think about that stuff. Weight loss, foot pain, and more. Wow. So, I could rub my feet to weight loss. You got it. That's got to be some vigorous rubbing right there. I mean, like, seriously, what if you had 30? I don't, thank you God, I've lost a lot of weight since I moved to this house, but just naturally. But I mean, if you had like 30, 40 pounds to lose, I mean, exercise does help quite a bit, but I don't know. That's crazy. I did not even know that you could do that. All right. So here are basically, they're talking about specific acupoints on each foot. So we're all gonna go through this article because it was good, and it's some things that are very common to people. It says also you can. Oh wait a minute, where we are. The benefits of acupressure. Okay. They're saying insomnia, hot flashes, night sweats, fever, anxiety, palpitations, poor memory, sterility, plantar fasciitis, which I do suffer from sometimes, muscular dystrophy, headache, nausea, dizziness, blurred vision. Ooh, this is going to help me too on that one also. All right. Sore throat, epilepsy, and intense rage. I'm having intense rage right now. Hold on, let me rub my feet. Oh, that's so funny. Intense rage. That like really struck me. There's, if you ever really do suffer from intense rage problems, you can get your energy back in balance with a Bach flower remedy called Holly. Holly. Ironically, years ago, there was a woman named Holly who caused intense rage in me, so that was like ironic. But anyway, I digress. Corresponding foot acupressure point. Okay, they're calling it the Gushing Spring, KD1, K1. Located in the depression on the sole of your foot when it is in plantar flexion at the junction of the second and third toes. So second and third toe, got it, okay. From the heel base. So that's, basically, like a grid, so you use your toes instead of, A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3, right? A typical grid. I don't even know if you guys get my reference. I'm trying to project into your minds right now. I don't know if you guys did grid, like you use grids to find the location on a map when you're in grade school. Anyway, maybe y'all didn't have that experience. We did. It was super fun. I liked it. Anyway, all right, so Gushing Spring is located along the kidney meridian. It is the only acupoint found on the sole of the foot and can be found by sliding your fingers down your foot between the big toe and the second toe. See, a second ago they said the second and third toe. This article is confusing. All right. And the second toe until you find a slight depression where the bones of your second and third toes meet the heel bone. Okay, this is crap, and I'm going to tell you why. You have a hell of a lot more bones in your feet than 2. I mean, you've got your 1, 2, so you have your metatarsals, and then you've got your tarsals. Metatarsals means middle. Anyway, so basically, they're just saying going all the way down, right, until you hit the heel part. I mean, it's really not, this is described really stupidly. Sorry about the foot files. Firmly press this point in the spot that's most sore, and you do it for 1 to 2 minutes. So yeah, it's not very relaxing form of massage. Like, you push as hard as you can, and it's going to be painful. And the reason it is because these salts in your body there's little, crystalline salts that formulate in the bottom of your feet. And if you break up the salts, basically, that's when you feel better. That's reflexology, but it's, I might go over a reflexology thing too. It is different points on the feet, but basically just go between your first and second toe and run your knuckle or your finger along the line until you hit a point that hurts, and then push that hurting spot for 1 to 2 minutes. So, and that's what will help all the ailments I mentioned above, intense rage, sore throat, blurred vision. Oh, that's cool. I'm pushing it. Maybe I'll be able to see this page without my reading glasses. I can, but it's a little blurry still. All right, got to push on it more. All right, now for these ailments, depression, lethargy, strong emotions, swollen genitals, something else relieves that. Oh my God. All right. PMS, cramps, breast tenderness, dysmenorrhea, and amenorrhea. I don't know which is which right now, but one of them means painful periods, and the other one means when you're having, I think amenorrhea is when you're having like not enough periods, or they're coming like they'll either come like, twice a month instead of once a month, and it'll be like you'll bleed for 2 days, and then 2 weeks later it's 2 days again. It's ridiculous. I used to have it when I was 14. They literally put me on birth control pills to regulate my hormones so that I didn't have amenorrhea anymore. So that's something like if you're a teenager, or a teenager that's going through this, where it's like, what the hell do you, like, why did I have my period for 3 weeks straight, or why did I have it for one day and then nothing happened for another 2 weeks? Especially if you've never had sex in your life. I didn't until I was an adult, and so it was like ridiculous. It's like, why is this happening? But amenorrhea and dysmenorrhea, and then when you do have it and it finally comes, it's really like painful. So this is the point I'm about to tell you will help with that. Also will help with impotence, hernia, constipation, and canker sores. That's very interesting, isn't it? All right, so the corresponding foot acupressure point for this is Great Surge, LV3, located in the junction between the first and second toes. Now, this is located along the liver meridian and can be found by sliding your finger between the big toe and the second toe until you find where those tendons meet. So right between your toes, basically. Firmly press this point of the foot on the spot that feels the most sore for you. And you do that for 1 to 2 minutes, and this will help alleviate pain and symptoms associated with the above ailments. So there you go. Now here's the next grouping of ailments. I'm going to make sure this is recording. Okay, yay, it is. All right. So the next grouping of ailments are going to be alleviated with this next point we're about to get to. This is swelling and or pain in the feet, thirst, dry mouth, irregular menstruation. See, why can't they just say that before? Don't tell me amenorrhea and then 5 seconds later, irregular menstruation. Anyway, very inconsistent article. I did not vet it thoroughly first, but the information is good, but I'm going to get to the charts in a minute. So genital itching, see, again, bathing and then putting that jock itch powder, that helps because that's a fungus. But anyway, genital itching and or pain, difficulty urinating, intense fright, if you're very, very afraid, and chronic sore throats is the next grouping. So this one is called Blazing Valley. Oh my God. Okay, so many jokes, so little time. Located in a depression near the navicular bone. Okay, I got an A in Human Anatomy and taught it for a year. And as a student teacher in college, I don't remember the words navicular bone. So I think I learned the actual word of it, the actual name of it, I mean. Anyway, Blazing Valley is located along the kidney meridian and can be found by sliding your finger or thumb halfway up along the inside edge of your foot, until you feel a notch halfway between your heel and your big toe. So, okay. Ooh, I found mine. Ooh, yuck. That's a nasty pain. Alright, so push the pain. Push the pain away. That's literally what you're doing in acupressure. Alright, firmly press the most sensitive point in the area. Oh, damn it, that really hurts. I'm doing this while I'm telling you guys to make sure it works. Firmly press the most sensitive point in this area for 1 to 2 minutes along to help alleviate the pain and symptoms associated with the above ailments. So I'm doing this. Now, what was this one for again? dry mouth. Well, stop smoking pot if you don't want dry mouth. I mean, am I right? Sorry. A lot of these things come from other things that you could stop and easily prevent. Intense fright. Wow. I wonder if they include anxiety. I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next one. Digestive issues, weight loss issues, abdominal pain, heart pain, bunions, and muscle weakness. I mean, if you have a bunion, wouldn't you just rub the bunion? Right? All right. Corresponding foot acupressure point. Supreme White. Okay, I don't even like the name of that one. We're just going to go along with it. SP3, we'll call it. Located near the head of the joint of the big toe on each foot. Supreme White, or SP3, is located along the spleen meridian and can be located by sliding your finger along the edge of the inside of your foot just past the joint of the big toe in the direction of the heel. Firmly press the most sensitive point in this area up, from 1 to 2 minutes, and that will help you with those things. Okay, so it really just seems like it's practically exactly the same thing what we said a minute ago. But I'm going to look at the chart in a minute, and I'll tell you where these things are. I'm going to tell you what you can help by pushing what area of your foot, instead of saying Supreme White. What the hell is that? I don't know. We're just going to... It sounds racist. I'm sure it's not what they meant, but still, it's kind of weird, right? Ailments. Abdominal pain, bloating, constipation, ankle issues, including sprains, and Achilles tendonitis. Ooh, all right. So the corresponding foot acupressure point for this is Ravine Divide, ST41, located at the midpoint of the front of your ankle. Yeah, but you have 2 ankle bones. Which one? In a depression between the tendons of the flexor hallucis muscle and the extensor digitorum longus muscle that is attached to the tibia. Okay. Which they say shin bone, obviously. So the tibia, right? Because there we go. The tibia is the basic. You have 2 bones in your lower leg, and the fibula is the smaller bone on the outside of your leg, and the tibia is the bigger bone. That so it's basically your inside part of your leg. They could have just said that, but no. Suddenly they have to show off. Ravine Divide is located along your stomach meridian and can be located by sliding your finger along the middle of the top of your foot. So, all right. So the middle of the top of your foot, okay. And ankle. Middle of the top of your foot and ankle. Okay, that's weird. Until you find a crease where several tendons meet at the end of your shin bone. Oh yeah, there it is. All right, very weird. So firmly press the most sensitive point in the area for 1 to 2 minutes, and that will help, with all the things we said before: bloating, constipation, ankle issues, sprains, and Achilles tendons. I could barely feel it because I'm doing this on the leg that I broke, right, and this is pretty much right where I broke it. So that, that just cleared up a lot of things for me. No wonder I've had a lot of bloating issues ever since I broke my leg. Oh my God, that makes so much sense now. All right. So while stimulating foot acupressure points on your own is possible, it is best to visit an acupressure expert, so says the people whose website points to their business, to get the most out of the treatment therapy. So if experienced acupressurists can help you fully explore the best ways to find relief for your problems and your pain. And additionally, if you are experiencing foot pain, you might want to try acupuncture, which is a method that also gets your mind, body, and souls, that's funny, S-O-L-E-S, souls in a happy and healthy condition. So there you go. So I wanted to read an article first because I wanted to get pretty much, I want to make sure where we're at. We're 23 minutes in. Okay. I wanted to get where we are, I don't know. I wanted you guys to understand that when I tell you push this for your liver, I'm not going to give you all it's called the flying winged swan or whatever. Here's your flying dragon point. None of that makes sense to me. It's strange and beautiful. It makes it a lot more mysterious. But I'm just going to tell you where the points are, but wanted you to know that it's a lot more intense and involved than what I'm going to say on the show, obviously. So if you want to look into it on your own, you could do more research. If you, really, really want to get into it, you could do this for a living, honestly. If you became an if you do acupressure, I think you could maybe take classes in acupressure for fun and profit. I think you could do that separate from actually gain a degree in Chinese medicine, which, oh my God, it could take up to 10 years. My friend Ron was studying it and he died in the middle of that. But I think, actually, no, he was getting ready to take it, and my husband and I were going to help him actually pay for it too, I think. And he was the Chinese College of Oriental Medicine in Santa Barbara is one of the best schools in California, and he was going to go there, and I used to go there and get treated all the time, and they're professionals. They have every Chinese medicine known to man right there in this massive pharmacy of Chinese medicine. It's really cool. I love the medicines because they're like little tiny round balls, and they're really teeny tiny, and they're coated in honey in like a lacquer. I don't know what it's made from, maybe like egg whites or something. And it's very, very shiny medicine. And when you take a handful of these little teeny tiny balls, and they click clack all the way down your throat. They're very strange. The medicines there are excellent, but they're strange. And it always helped me. Every single time it helped me. But, all right, here we go. I'm just trying to leave the jokes aside, dude. I'm looking for the best chart here that makes the most sense. There's one here that really looked like the best one, easiest one to understand anyway. So I'm waiting for it to... Oh, yeah, okay. So this is very interesting. I like this. This is Wikipedia. That is the best one. All right. So, all right. This is how we're going to do it. First of all, on the in-between parts of your feet, it says the cervical vertebrae, the top 7 vertebrae in your spine, relates to the inside of your foot, the upper part of your this is a really cool chart, actually. So the upper part of your toe, basically your big toe. When you have problems with your neck, just start pushing parts of your big toe. Just massage your big toe. When you find a part that's very, very sore, push on it. This goes against all the advice your mother ever told you. Oh, don't touch it if it's sore. Yeah, so push that really hard for 2 minutes. It's so dumb. I know it sounds dumb, but it's really true. Okay, so, and then from the lower part of your big toe joint all the way to the center of your sole, but on the outside edge, center of your sole. Sounds so ominous. SOLE. All right, that is your thoracic vertebrae. So basically your mid back, upper back, and your lower back. And then your hips, your very, very lower back is between your heel and the lower part of your outside edge of your sole. So basically your whole spine can be affected by rubbing the inside of your foot, basically. And your heel, of course, is related to your sacrum and your coccyx, which is the fused vertebrae at the very, very base of your spine. And the sacrum, which is in front, what's in front of your sacrum is your sacred parts, okay? So it's, your sacroiliac joint, where a lot of people have problems with that, and it causes, oh my God, why am I not thinking that pain that it's like sends, if you have it, it sends sharp shooting pains down your legs, and you can't walk sometimes, and it's absolutely painful, and you have to get off of it. You got to put ice on it. Sometimes it's sciatica. There you go, sciatica pain. Thank you, God. I love being connected to God because He always gives me the words that I lose, so it's helpful. All right, so your whole spine is up and down, the inside of your foot. All right, so let's see if we could get through this. This is one of the cutest charts. I wish I had this in my room. All right. And I like that it talks about different things. It doesn't just say, this is your kidney meridian, and, it's the flying serpent, line or whatever. I don't know if there's a flying serpent line. I'm making that crap up. And it feels like they make this crap up too, but... All right, so let's start with our baby toe. It says if you want more energy, the very bottom of the baby toe, just push the baby toe. That makes it easy, right? If you have a cold or you're nervous, your second and your third toe from the baby toe. Is that your ring toe? Your ring toe, like your ring finger. But anyway, from your baby toe and the wee little piggy that cried his way home. Okay, that's the energy one, and then the one next to that is cold, and the one next to that is nerves. So cold and nerves, and you can push both of those. So if you're feeling cold, maybe that will help. I think putting socks on also. Oh my God, I'm full of funny comments today. If you have a problem with your memory or sinuses, the very tip of your toe that's right next to your big toe, the second, they call it the second in command, right? So the second toe, that's for your memory and your sinuses. Oh wow, I'm pushing it. It actually works. Okay. Mental tension is at the very, very tippy top of your big toe. If you're having mental tension, push the tip of your big toe. And I don't know, what is that word? Oh, headache. That's a picture of a brain. I couldn't tell. So if you're having a headache, just below the tip of your toe is where you push for a headache. Now the side of your big toe, the inside area, when you have worry, just push it there on the side of your toe, towards the inside of your body, not towards your other toe, the inside. And insomnia is underneath the base part of your toe, of your big toe. All right, so if you have it doesn't say tons of, I thought it said tons of hormones. It says tonsils. So the area below the base of your big toe and that big bone right there, right? So just work on all of that section, that big bone, for your tonsils, your hormones, if you need weight loss and arthritis. Also for thyroid disorders and parathyroid disorders are all in that section. So basically, I like that this is a little bit more basic. All right, if you're having eye problems, eye disorders, okay, so between your second toe from the big toe, your second and third toe, right in the middle of that, put your finger right in the middle of your two toes, and then push there. And it's so cute. It has like a picture of an eye right here on the chart, and it says eye dis. So if you want dis your eye, no. Eye disorders. I'm sure it means disorders. Okay. Now, when you go a little bit farther down, again, towards your baby toe and your second toe, in between the two, your final smallest toes, hopefully they're your smallest toes, in between the two, and a little bit like lower than them, right? So that is where you're going to find ear and, okay, all your ear disorders and your toothache. All the toothache disorders. Now, underneath your baby toe, on the outside, if you're having shoulder pain, you just push that part. That might help shoulder pain. So I'm going to see how we're doing on time. 34 minutes. I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing or not. Now, this is, by the way, you could push both of your toe, or both of your, both feet, either foot or both. It doesn't matter, okay? But on your left foot, there's a little bit more going on, according to this picture anyway. All right, so if you have lung disorders, and I've used this one quite a bit, if you have asthma or you're coughing or anything to do with, bronchitis, anything like that, obviously go to a doctor, but get the antibiotics. Those are times in which you need antibiotics. But you can also, if it's just like a basic cough or basic asthma, the lung part of the foot is beneath your second it's like your two middle toes, basically. You're from the big toe, it's your third and fourth toe. Right, just the two toes away from the baby toe. And you go down about an inch, I would say. Kind of keep rubbing around there until you find the part that hurts the most. And that's for asthma, cough, any lung disorder, basically. And that will help you in that. Now, in the very dead center of the upper part of your sole area, there is one big point called the solar plexus. I wonder if that one alleviates anxiety. That would be interesting, right? Because usually your solar plexus is where you have problems with identity in that chakra. So right in the dead center, in the upper part of your sole, in the middle part of your foot, about an inch and a half down from the toe, solar plexus. And you push that point, and I don't know, that gave me kind of a calm feeling. That might be dealing with anxiety. All right, so over to the towards the outside, towards your small toes again, just a little bit lower from your solar plexus area, and over a little bit towards the outside of the foot. Ooh, I pushed this one and it hurts. Liver disorders. And a little bit down from there is gallbladder disorders. All right, so that will help with alleviate any issues you have with those organs. If you have tennis elbow, on the outside in the very dead center of your foot, on the very outside edge. If you have tennis elbow, there's the point. You just push that. If you have stomach disorders, let me see, hold on. Let me see where we're at with time. All right. If you have stomach disorders, go back to the inside part of your sole. I mean, it's like the inside part of your foot, sorry. But it's at the, right below your big toe joint. And your stomach is in that section. Now, if you're interested in helping the lower part of your stomach, it's on your right foot. And if you're helping the left part of your stomach, I'm sorry, if you're helping the upper part of your stomach, that is your left foot, basically. So if you want to rub, if you don't know what part of your stomach you need to help, probably I would say help both by rubbing the upper, just right before the big toe joint, right? So diabetes can be helped because the pancreas is below that part. So right below your toe joint on the inside part of your foot, on both feet, I would say use both feet for both of these things. This is the stomach area, and then right below that, the stomach area would be the diabetes area, which is also pancreas. So even if you don't have diabetes, still rub that. Make sure if it feels like it's hard and hurts, you might want to massage that a little bit longer. Now, on a little bit farther in from the diabetes part is kidneys. Now, right and left foot, right and left kidney. Makes sense, right? And if you have a hernia or problems with anything like that, that's also in that same area. It's a little bit above the kidneys and more into the very center of your sole of your foot. Now, if you have problems with your intestines, your large intestine and your small intestines, and this includes urinary bladder, prolapsed disorders, intestines, sigmoid colon, constipation, digestion, diarrhea even. All of that can be found at the very bottom part of your sole of your foot, on the inside of your foot, all the way towards almost the outside of your foot. So the very center of the soles of your feet, and you push these on. You could just, the outer edge of that would be where the big colon is, and the intestines would be right there in the very center of, it's in the center of your body, so it's in the center of your foot, basically. And again, tennis elbow could be on either your right or your left foot, on the outside of your foot. So if you have problems with, and shoulder pain, by the way, is on the outside of your baby foot, or of your baby toe, on the outside of your baby toe, just on the outer edge, and you go down just below the joint of your toe, and you have shoulder pain. I think I already mentioned that, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned it again, because most people don't have that, but if you do, you really, really need the help with it, right? Now, back pain is on the upper part of your heel bone, right? Back pain. So there you go. It says general back pain, but I think that's the whole thing, all along the inside part of your foot is your entire spine, basically. So now, if you do have sciatica, okay, there's piles. Piles, I think, is, let's start with piles. Okay, piles is at the very, very end of your heel, the very edge of your heel, if you have piles, which is hemorrhoids, basically. That's an old-fashioned word for hemorrhoids. So if you have that, you can rub that part of your heel. And then if you have heel pain, obviously rub your heel. And right above that is heel pain, about, half an inch in from the edge of your heel. And then above that is for knee and foot pain. And it's and these are bands that go all the way across your foot. So just rub until you find the place that kind of hurts, right? So knee pain, foot pain. And then above that is sex power. Ooh, okay, there we go. That's about an inch and a half in from the base of your heel. And make it like a band as wide as your finger all the way across your foot. So sex power. And then above that is sciatica. I don't know what that means, sex power. I can speculate all day long on that, but that's what it says, literally. And above that is if you have sciatica pain. So, and that's at the other end of the bone of your heel. So at the edge of the bone of your heel, that's where you would rub to alleviate sciatica pain. Now, if you have problems with your appendix, immediately go get that checked out from a professional. But the appendix area has, where is that? Okay, so it's in the sole part of your foot towards the outer edge, but it's still on the sole. And I would have to say it's about half an inch to an inch above your heel bone towards the outer edge. So if you push that might be your, if I would say if you push that and it's extremely painful and your appendix is hurting, I would say just immediately go get that thing taken out. But if you don't have any problems with it, just leave it in, because usually kind of need that. Now, those were all of the things on the right foot. Now on the left foot, there's a couple extra things. Looks like we're going to get through the whole thing today, which is awesome. So on your if you have a goiter too, by the way, at the base, the collar of your big toe, especially on your left foot, I guess, this is what it says on the left foot. Everything is the same on both feet on this drawing, but this says a couple extra things over here. So at the collar of your big toe, at the base of your big toe, of course, this is all on the sole of your foot, the bottom of your foot. So if you have problems with thyroid, basically goiter is a thyroid issue. So I've said all of these from the other foot, but now while you have a lung point beneath your third and fourth toe on the right foot, on the left foot, that lung point also includes, and I have a pain in there, so I got to rub that one. Okay. It includes your heart and high blood pressure, besides just the pneumonia, asthma, cough, lung disorder thing. Also, in that area, your heart is found on the left foot. That sounds weird. Your heart is not literally found on your left foot. The heart point, the acupressure point of your heart, is on your left foot beneath your baby toe and the toe next to it in the center. So if you have high blood pressure or heart disease or any matters of the heart that you want to deal with energetically, you might want to just push on that point and see what happens. And below that, at the very base, or actually I'd say at the very top of the beginning of your sole, on the outer edge beneath your first and second or baby toe and its friend there is your spleen area. So the heart is there next to the lung point, and then below that is the spleen. And everything else on this foot is the same as the other one, right? So it does explain what sex power is on your heel. They call it reproductive organ disorders. So there you go. So yeah, if you have problems with your heart, massage your left foot. Spleen and heart, that's left foot. Other than that, everything is the same. Yeah, see, knee pain, foot pain, heel pain, that's at the base of the heel. So there you have it. That's cool. So I went through the whole chart. I can't believe it. When I started, it looked so big. It's like, oh, how am I going to get through this stuff? The Chinese descriptions are fun and interesting, and they're extremely pinpointed. I mean, to the point where you could take the end of like chopsticks, like the points are so small. I mean, and you could use chopsticks to do like intense acupressure. And if you want to get that detailed, I mean, seriously, just go get acupuncture done with needles. The needles, they only hurt for a second. They don't really hurt usually at all. Sometimes they can just get knocked in there in your body. You don't even feel it at all. I have had some acupuncture points hurt like a mother. Like, oh my God, that was so painful. But usually, and I've had like emergency acupuncture for migraine headaches I used to have. And it works. It always works. It's always really good. It's, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't. I highly recommend it just for any issues you're having. Acupuncture is the best, but in a pinch, literally pinch, get it? You could pinch the bottom of your foot. You could push and massage the bottom of your foot, and it might be more comfortable and enjoyable for you to do this with somebody else. If you are a single parent and you're hanging with your kids and they're relatively, older, 8 years old and above, they could probably, find these points on the bottom of your feet and help you. And you could do this for your own children if you're a parent as well, because I love, I used to rub my kids' feet when they're very little, when they're babies and on up through toddlerhood, especially when they're learning to walk. I always felt like they needed extra love and care. So we called it spa day, and I would massage their feet with a good oil. Like coconut oil is really good because it soaks right in to the skin. It doesn't leave your kid oily. Doesn't leave you. You could do this for your own feet. It doesn't leave your feet oily. It's not an oily oil, and it does soften. If you have problems with your heels, it has qualities that will help soften your skin. And also, usually it smells very good if you love the smell of coconut. If you don't, you could get unscented coconut oil. But anyway, there you have it. You could do this with or without. You don't have to put oil on your feet to do these massages. It might be more pleasant if you're doing this with like your boyfriend or your wife or, someone you're in a relationship with. It could be more sensual if you want to just do it in a sensual way, but these points do hurt. So my husband did reflexology, and he used to rub my feet and occasionally to break up the salt. So we're going to go over reflexology points later I'll do another show about this. I don't know when, probably in a few weeks, but we have the power literally at our fingertips to help our feet or help our bodies through pushing these points on our feet. Basically, it's easy, and it's a very strange thing that we could do it, but we can help every part of our body. And that's the answer. It's weird. It's not the only answer. It is an answer. It's just one more tool you could put in your toolbox of wellness, basically. All right. Well, I'm sorry I got this out so late. Oh my God. But I feel wide awake now. The cosmic nap helped. Anyway, I'm going to go downstairs, get some coffee, and then I'm going to do the rest of... I'm going to do Friday's show. I'm going to try to get it out early because I don't trust this cosmic wave energy that's been coming in in the evenings lately. What's it been, like 3 or 4 weeks like this, between Wednesday and Thursday for the past month, has been this intense cosmic wave energy. It's been, I'm sure there's a pattern to it if you look at how often we're getting solar winds, but that cosmic radiation keeps bombarding us, and it's pretty crazy, man. Anyway, I wanted to thank you guys, those of you who have been nominating me. Thank you so much in the People's Choice Podcast Awards. I really appreciate it. I keep getting messages on Instagram. Hey, I nominated you. Yay, good luck, Yay, I'm so excited for this. Anyway, I'm grateful that you guys are nominating me. It's an honor just to be nominated, as they say. And if you haven't done it, please go to Podcast Awards. And you heard the little blurb. I don't have to say this every day. I made it like a little commercial, and I'm putting that just for July, and then until the voting is done. So there you have it. That's it. I'll be back in my next episode with all unique and original programming, just like always. But my next episode is about the Earth Changes Report, and we might do something a little bit different. Instead of weird world news, we're going to, well, you'll see. We'll talk about it in the next show. It is UFO World UFO Day. So we're going to get into UFO stories. So there you go. I'm going to sign off now with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.